Hey guys, welcome to part 9 of the e-commerce app playlist. And before anything, I want to thank you all for supporting me, and we just hit 600 subscribers on my channel. I know it's not a big number, but it is for me. So thank you all so much, and I hope we reach more and more in this channel. So in this video, I will show you how we can implement this bottom dialog where the user can reset the password in case the user forgot it. So as you can see in this dialog, we have this edit text where the user will put the email in, and then we will have the send button and the cancel button. So when the user put the email and he clicks on send, the Firebase authentication has a cool function that will send him or will send her a link to the email, and using that link the user can reset the password. To demonstrate that, I'm gonna go create temporary email. So I'm gonna copy it, and first we're going to create an account with that email. By the way, this is the original app. So let's create an account. Here's the email. And here is the password. Click on register. Okay, now let's click on forgot password. And I will put the email in here and click on send. As you can see, we sent reset password to the link, to the email, sorry. But let's go to the email, and as you can see, we got an email from client, and we have this link. When the user clicks on that link, here the user can reset the password. And that's exactly what we are going to do in this video. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and design that bottom sheet. So inside the REST file, go to the layout, and let's create a new XML file. And let's call this reset password dialog. And now let's design our dialog. So first of all, we will have a text view, and before that you need to make sure that you are using constraint layout as the parent layout. So in this text view, the width is going to be wrap content, the height as well. Close this. Let's add an ID, TV, reset password. Gonna add margin start, 10 dB, margin top, 10 dB, font family. We're gonna use the thin one, this. We also have the text, which is reset password. We're gonna add text color, black, text size 15 SP, and text style is bold. Then we're gonna add the constraints, start with a parent, top with a parent. I think we can increase the text size, so I'm gonna make it 18. Okay, looks better. Now we're gonna create another text view. Width is 0 dB, height is wrap content, we have margin from the end of 10 dB, font family, this one we're gonna use the light one, text, you can write any text you can write any text you want, so we will send you the password link to your email, or the password reset link to your email. Have text color, also black, text size, let's make it 12 SP. Oops, text size 12 SP. We can add text style bold. And now the constraints, so into the end of the parent, start to the start of the reset password text view, top to the bottom of reset password. That's it for this text view. And now let's add an edit text. Gonna have width of 0 dB and height of wrap content, margin top, this is margin top, 10 dB, margin bottom 20 dB, bottom to the bottom of the parent, end to the end of this text view. Let's add an ID for this one. This is dv reset password, oops, text. So the end to the end with this one, also the start to the start with the same one. And now we can have the last constraint top to the bottom of the same one. And now let's add the buttons. They will be inside a linear layout. So linear layout is gonna be horizontal one, but for the width 0 dB. For the height, wrap content, margin top, we're gonna add margin top 10 dB, margin bottom 20 dB, and the constraints bottom to the bottom of the parent, end to the end of this edit text. Let's add an ID, ed reset password, start to the start with the same one, and top to the bottom with the same one. Now close this, and inside this linear layout we just need to add the orientation horizontal. Okay, now let's add the buttons inside this linear layout. So this time we're going to use a typical button, app compat button. So for the width, wrap content, for the height, wrap content, margin end 5 dB. The weight is 1, background at drawable blue. We first start with the white background because for the cancel button we need to add the text is cancel. We can add text all caps, make this false, because as you can see all the letters now are capital letters. Now we make it false, then we have the same as we have in our text. And that's it for this button. Can add an ID for this. So button reset or button cancel reset password. We can copy this one, paste it down below. First change the ID, make it to send reset password. We also gonna change the text to send and the background to blue background. Also the color, so text color gonna be white. Now one more thing we wanna do is in the parent layout we're gonna make this wrap content, but it should look better than that. This looks like we have big margin between this text view and the edit text. Let's see why is that. Let's see the margin here. I think we need to delete the bottom to the bottom constraint, and the up. Now this looks as we want. Okay, now let's actually go and create a builder for this bottom sheet dialog. So let's actually create a new package and call this dialog. So we will put our dialogues inside this package, and let's create a file in here and call this reset password dialog. And now we will create an extension function fragment dot setup bottom sheet dialog. Let's create that. I created this extension function because the same dialog is going to be used in another fragment, so we don't need to rewrite this builder again and again. So we can write it once and we can use it in a multiple fragments. So this fragment extension here will give us a reference to our fragment. So we can now get the required context. As you can see, we can get required activity and all of the fragment properties we can get inside this function. Okay, so now let's have our dialog, which equals bottom sheet dialog, and in here we're gonna pass our context, so required context, and now we want to get the view, so view equals layout inflator dot inflate, and we will pass our layout that we have designed. And for the root we'll pass null. Now we will set our view to our dialog, so dialog dot set view or set content view, we'll pass our view. Now we can show the dialog, so dialog dot show. We also need to add one behavior, but I will add it later to show you why we need that behavior. Okay, now let's inflate our views like the email edit text, the send button, and the cancel button. I'm gonna use find view by ID for this. So val ed email equals view dot find view by ID. Edit this, and this will be edit text r.id.ed reset password. Gonna duplicate this, and this will be for the send button. So button send, or let me just make it like this, button send button reset. This one, this will be duplicate this now. This will be button cancel. In here, button cancel reset password. Okay, now I will set a click listener on both of these buttons. So button send.set on click listener. In here we will get the email, which equals ed email.text.toString.trim. And now we will send this email as a lambda function. So we're gonna have on send click, this will send a string and will return a unit, and the same for on cancel, or we don't need to implement the on cancel, we just can implement it internally in this function. So anyways, now on the send function, so when we click on send, we will call that function and we will send the email. Now button cancel.set on click listener, and in here we just gonna dismiss the dialog, so it will hide it. Now okay, now let's go inside our fragment and we're going to use this dialog inside our fragment, inside the login fragment, and in here we're going to set the click listener on the forget password text view. So tv forget password dot set on click listener, and now we can call our reset password dialog. So we'll call setup bottom sheet dialog, as you can see, and in here we will get our email. So far everything is good. Let's actually preview the app before we use the Firebase authentication to reset the email. Okay, let's click on start, click on login, click on forget password. As you can see, here's our dialog. Everything works. Now as you can see, the keyboard override our dialog and it hides the buttons. So we want to show our dialog above the keyboard. To do that, we're gonna add the behavior I told you about. So let's do that. So in here we're gonna add dialog.behavior.state equals bottom sheet dialog behavior, this one, dot state expanded, this one. And we also need to add a style in here. So this style actually I got him from the internet, so I will leave you this style code below in the description of this video. I won't waste time doing that. Copy it from the description, or you can write it, you'll see it now, and then go to reverse file, values, and go to styles, and in here just paste that style in here. So as you can see, you can find it in the description or you can write it by yourself. Now we're gonna add that style to our dialog. So in here r.style dialog style. Now let's run the app again and see if that works. Click on start, login, forget password, and as you can see, now the dialog is above the keyboard. Okay, everything is cool so far. Now let's go to our view model and implement the reset password function. So inside our login view model, we're going to have a function in here, reset password, and we're gonna have our email, which is a string. Now before that, we wanna have a state, but this time not a state actually, we wanna have a shared flow, because we will show a snack bar, and that snack bar will show only once. It won't show on screen rotations. That's why we're gonna use shared flow. I explained that in the last video. I said that shared flow used when we wanna send a one-time event to the UI, and that's what we wanna do in this case. So val reset password equals immutable shared flow. In here, I don't know, we can set the email. So it's a string actually. Let me just edit this. We're gonna duplicate that, make it public, remove this underscore, and get this as a flow, as a shared flow. Okay, now in here we will first have our coroutine scope, and we're going to launch, and we're going to emit a value of resource.loading. So reset password.emit resource.loading, but we need to change this to resource of a string. Now we're gonna use the Firebase authentication. Now to reset the password, we can use the Firebase authentication dot send password reset to the email, this one, and now we can pass our email. And as usual, we have the listener functions. So add on success listener and add on failure listener. So inside the success listener, we're gonna just pass success with the email. So reset password dot emit resource dot success, and we will pass the email. So this will be inside the coroutine scope. I think I will do this. So I will close the coroutine scope, this one in here, and I'm gonna remove this curly bracket, and I'm gonna launch a new coroutine scope inside the onSuccess listener. Now I'll take this and put it inside this coroutine scope. Now we'll do the same inside the onFailure listener. So copy this, but this time we will send failure or error, and we'll send, and in here we will pass the message like this. And now let's get back to the login fragment, and simply in here we will call the view model dot reset password, and we will send the email. And now we're going to listen, and now let's actually collect that flow. So launch when started view model dot reset password dot collect. I'm just gonna copy this from here and paste it in here because I don't want to rewrite this all the time. I'm gonna remove here. I'm gonna remove this in here, the same in here. So in the loading case, we won't do anything. In the success case, we will show snack bar dot make the view is required text. We can pass reset link was sent to your email, and the duration here we can pass snack bar dot length long, let's say, and then we can call show. Gonna copy this, paste it in here, and this time in here we're gonna pass error and we will pass our error. So we can get it from it.message. That is it for now. One thing is on the success or on the error state, we want to actually hide the bottom sheet dialog. Now this could be more complicated if we want to do it in here, but a simple solution we can do is by going to the function, to the dialog function, and after we send the email, we can just call dialog.dismiss. This will actually work. So now let's run the app and test everything. So I will prepare my email. So as you can see, here's an email. I'm gonna copy this email. Start, let's register. And the password. Gonna click on register. Okay, now let's get back, go to the login, and let's reset that password. And as you can see, reset password was sent to your email. Let's see if we got it, and yes, we got it in here. Now one more thing I want to show you is inside your Firebase console. If you want to change this form, you can write your own message to the user. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, so go to your console and inside go to the authentication service. Then in here, go to templates, and as you can see, you have password reset. In here, you have your form. You can edit the form in here. So you can change the sender name, you can say land of coding. From here, you can add anything you want. So as you can see, you have all the options to edit your template. So you can have your custom template. Okay guys, so that was all for this video. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something new. If you did, just click on like and subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on my Instagram page. The link is in the description. So that was all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.